What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am back on my 1100 Zooz Gen 1 1100. It's been a month since I've ridden this. I have been almost exclusively on the Flex since then. Just heading to work early. Wanted to get on these streets and give this a shot, see how it is, see how I feel about switching from one bike to the other. So, I mean, I can tell you right now, the Zooz UltraFlex feels so much bigger than this bike. And I'm not in a good or bad way, it's just different. Just very different. This bike feels like a toy right now. As soon as I sat on it, I noticed, you know, the difference on my inseam, like where my crotch is hitting the seat. Instantly, I am back into the mode of attacking bumps instead of not worrying about them. You know, like I'm on my feet more. You know, because of the lack of suspension creates a different riding style right off the bat. I think, I don't know what's going on, but I think it's because of who I had working on these brakes. My brakes feel better on this bike. Maybe it's just an adjustment thing. You know, Tyrone from the shop worked on these for me, and I mean, they just feel great. There's definitely more weight to stop with the 1200 though, so it's different. It's a beautiful morning. The other thing is the pedal assist. I don't need to be in mode 5 to hit my top speed. This is an old generation thing. The new generation 1100s and 750s are the same as the 1200. You're capped in your pedal assist and how much the pedal will push you. But the older generations are, you can pedal and hit any speed that you can in any mode. So I usually ride, in this bike I usually ride in, you know, pedal assist 2 or 3. Just because it feels natural for my cadence, the way I pedal, and if I need to, I can still hit top speed. Let's see, what else? I mean, it just feels so much lighter. It's only like 12 pounds difference with the stuff that I have on mine, like the extra added pound or two, or actually it's just a pound in the slime that I have in the tubes, and then the liners, thicker tubes, all the stuff that I have going on in my tires adds weight to this. So my 1100 weighs a little more than most people's 1100s. I got this speaker on here. So that difference of weight, you can really feel it instantly. This feels like I can whip it around and really launch off some curves and jumps and like get aggressive with traffic. Whereas the other bike, I kind of want to chill more, even though I can get more aggressive because of the suspension. It just gives you a different vibe. It's really cool. two very different bikes, and I'm sure if I sat on a 750 right now, it would feel even different, even more different. So hopefully the audio sounds okay on this. I haven't used just the 360 camera audio yet. Oh, that's the other thing. I was just sitting at that light. Putting your feet on the ground, very different between this and the Flex. I mean, this is obviously shorter, so I can take like an A-frame stance. On the Flex, I got to be a little bit tucked closer to the frame so that my feet are flat on the ground. And when I do that, the frame is definitely, the seat is definitely like tucked right up in my inseam, right up in my crotch. I'm 5'10", so I think the 1200 is a good bike for my height, but this is fine as well. It's really just preference, how you want the bike to feel when you're standing over it. The 1200 definitely better for 2-up, that's for sure. So why am I not riding the Flex right now? There's a connection issue between the battery and the battery cradle tray. And it looks like there's something a little faulty with it. And I think that is the culprit for why my throttle and pedal assist had been cutting out in some of those other videos that I had up. So I was looking over the bike, I was looking over all the connections everywhere, and I took the battery out and I saw this, and it looked all crudded up, you know, it looked like cruddy, plastic, melty kind of corrosion. And I took a couple of photos and I did some research, I asked around, and it's the little connector pins between the battery cradle or tray and the battery itself. I had a few options on how I could fix it. I could get new connections and, you know, take the battery apart and put those in. Or I could get rid of the connections altogether and do a direct plug, the X90 plug. I don't want to do either of those myself, obviously, and because one of them would involve soldering and the other would involve taking apart the battery, which I don't want to do. So I spoke to Chris, and what he wants to do is he wants to get me a fresh battery and send the stuff that's damaged out to like a service center. I think it's an easy fix for them, for people who know what they're doing, based on what I saw online. It's just not something I should do. I'll end up doing something, making it worse. So I've got the bike on the bricks right now just because I want to run the risk of like a battery fire or something, because it looks like, based on the damage that I saw, it looked like something maybe getting overloaded or arcing because of the connection. So in the meantime, I will continue to customize that bike. I'm adding yellow to it. I am going to paint the fenders. I am going to have Carlos from Arcane Moto powder coat the shock springs in the rear. I'm going to add tire liners and slime. Although I'm a little bit on the fence about the slime, but it does really help. The only problem is now I got on this bike, I think the slime has hardened a little bit inside the valve stem, so I can't get air in or out of my front tire. Luckily the PSI is fine. I think it feels fine to my hand, but I can't really measure it because the little valve stem core is clogged up. So one of these days I have to take the bike outside because it's going to be a mess when I do it. Take the valve stem core out and then just like kind of refill it or swap it out. That's a whole operation. And right now the tire's holding fine. I've never had a problem with it, knock on wood. Until last couple months ago I was trying to put air in. I'm like, I can't get air in, I can't get air out. So that's that. But I'm gonna put liners and slime in the new flex tires just to be safe. Shmuley had a flat with just some glass, and then I saw someone on the Facebook group had a flat with just a little bit of glass as well, or a staple, a tiny staple. So things are piercing these excellent new tires, but just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna armor mine up. A lot of people like these tubeless, you know, the tubeless ones, or the armor that you put in. That's kind of like a padded cushion between the tube and the tire. But I don't like the way that makes the tire feel like when you squeeze on it. It's like, it feels like it doesn't have enough pressure or something. I don't know. Maybe it's not really a concern, but for me, I'm a little more old-fashioned. I kind of want the liner in there, and you know, the flat out or slime type stuff. Some people like flat out better. I've never used it. I like slime because it's green. I can see it bright, clear as day when something is leaking. When I have a situation underneath the tire. Flat out is kind of like a gray. Almost looks like asphalt color. So just preference differences. Flat out's supposed to last longer. Who knows? So let's see, what else am I customizing on that bike? Oh, on the 1200. I'm thinking about maybe eventually boosting the motor, controller, brakes for sure if I do any of that stuff, and battery, because I think the Flex can handle, the way it's built, I think it can handle like becoming a 40 plus mile an hour bike or 50 plus mile an hour bike. The suspension makes it a little more durable and comfortable to ride at those speeds, safe. Definitely boost the range with that new battery. I'm thinking about doing powerful lithium mods. You know, they're a reputable company. They're out in Jersey City. They put out quality products. Carlos has it already on his. He's got the Apollo on his, which is, I think, 52 volt. I forget what the amp hours are, maybe 28. But he's got like a 100-mile range, and it looks nice. Get a nice custom bag for the battery. I can match it up yellow nice. It's expensive though, so I don't know if I want to sink that kind of money in just yet. Definitely on the radar though. But for now, I'm doing all the aesthetics like I did to this bike. There are no yellow tires, so I'm doing yellow fenders. At least none that I can find. But it'll look sick. I think it'll look pretty cool when it's done. Until I get that battery and tray back. Or not back, until I get the replacement. I'll have to send out the other ones. And I'm almost at the end of my ride to work. As usual, thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family. Share this shit to everyone you know. But most importantly, you gotta tell your fucking grandma. She's the one that has to know.